Hey, Mike here with Canadian musician. Right now in the Strut Entertainment offices in downtown Toronto. Very pleased to meet up once again. We met up for the first time about a year and a half ago or so, but of course, sitting next to Trevor Guthrie. Trevor, first of all, congratulations, because it was just last night, I believe, that you picked up the SOCAN Award for its Best or Dance Music Award. I think they label it at SOCAN for your song Summertime. So first off, just congrats on that, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's always an honor to be considered a songwriter in this business, because that's what I started out to do, and to get honored last night with it, it's just a great feeling.
Yes, and I guess before we get into the details, just because this is video and people can see, as you called it, the oven mitt, may I just ask, well, what happened?
What are you talking about? Yeah, I was doing some renovations at my place in Penticton, trying to get some mortar off the brick using a power grinder, and I took the guard off just to get a little closer to the brick, and just split second took my mind off it, and this is the result. Yeah, I went through my knuckle in the middle here and almost severed it, basically. Had surgery, and they've reattached everything that's important. I can still feel it, so it's going to be about 3 to 6 months recovery, but stuck with the oven mitt. So for another month or so.
Do you know if that will have any lasting impact on your ability to play guitar or piano or anything like that?
The surgeon was confident that he's repaired everything that he best he could. I'm gonna have to do tons of rehab, but yeah, I mean, trying to get this motion like that for guitar will be the hardest, but I'm gonna do my best that I can forget about this and continue on. Yeah.
Nice. Is that going to interrupt any touring plans or anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit. I have some shows coming up. I have to work around them, maybe shorten the set. Obviously, I can't be playing guitar and piano right now, and DJing's even kind of tough too. So have to work around it.
Luckily, your finger's not attached to your vocal cords, so you should be all right. But let's start off. It hasn't come out yet, but we're going to be holding this, so it will be out by the time people hear this interview, see this interview, so we can speak freely, and that is that you have a new single coming out, Wanted. I've heard it. It's a fantastic, super catchy song. Are you able to give me just a bit of background on kind of the genesis of the song, what it's about, how the writing and everything for it came about?
Well, my personal life is in this song. It's a very personal song to me, and it's something I've been going through with I'll call her my best friend, a relationship, and for about 5 years, and she suffers from mental health issues, and which leads to addiction. And when you're in a situation like that and you're trying to help somebody, and it's just a never-ending cycle, it goes around and around. And if anybody that's ever dealt with that will know what I'm talking about. And when you try to help somebody or let them know, like, you need help, you need this, there's nothing you can really do. It's up to them to really acknowledge that there is a problem and seek that help. But in doing so, there's highs, there's lows, and sometimes you ask, well, what's wrong? Why are you sad today? I don't understand. And the answer is, well, you don't understand, you wouldn't understand. So I'm trying to get this person to open up, and I just figured, okay, maybe if I wrote a song about this and let this person know that her ups, her downs, anything that she's going through, whatever it is, I'm there for her, and she's wanted. So very personal song. We produced it in a more up-tempo, light way, so the message is still there, but it's a more it's still more of a fun, dancey song. But I'm hoping that people, when they hear it, will take away the meaning of the song and realize there's a lot of people with that suffer from mental health issues, and it's a everyday thing. It's a struggle, and it's tough, and it's sometimes the end result is not the nicest thing.
Is it normal or usual for you to go to such a personal place in your songwriting or in a song that will be out there in public?
Yeah, I mean, lately I've been doing that. I mean, this is what it feels like. It was about a friend of mine that was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, and they gave him 17 weeks to live, and I just kind of put myself in his family situation, and that's the song that came out. And again, it was produced in a lighter fashion. Armin van Buuren produced it, and it was more received as a fun dance song, but the message is still intact, and it's got a lot more personal meaning to me than anybody else, and my friend Robert's family, of course. And Strong Hands is a song I wrote for my veteran friends and live with PTSD, and trying to help raise money for Wounded Warriors Canada. So as an artist, I feel it's definitely more beneficial just to be honest and write from personal experiences. It's tough because you're really letting people into your psyche and your personal life, and I'm out in front of a crowd having a good time, and it's a different environment, but I go back home, I'm a real person, and there's real stories, and there's real emotion and feelings, and I just find as I'm getting older, it's like I gotta just forget about what people think, and it's like I need to write this. If it can help somebody, I love doing it.
Songs like those, like this is what it feels like, and like Wanted, that, like you say, are coming from a deeply personal but also fairly dark place. But the finished product, if you're just listening to the song and not paying close attention to the lyrics, you likely wouldn't realize the depth of the lyrics, or just how personal and dark the lyrics are. Like for you, how does that come together? Are you writing them as somber acoustic songs and then transforming them in the studio, or even with that lyrical matter, are you knowing how it's going to end up?
Yeah, the track usually comes second, so either set up a piano or a guitar and just get the kind of lyrics that how I'm trying to say them, and it's work. It doesn't just flow out. Like I have to think about it and really get the meaning across what I want to say. And then I work with a guy named Togs, one of the greatest producers in Canada. Of course you've heard him. Yeah, he's fantastic. And I'll play him a bunch of songs and like, wow, that's an amazing song. We should work on that. And we should start working it out. I mean, it's when it's produced in a more fun and lighter fashion, it's in a way, when you're talking about a dark topic like mental health and depression and anxiety and addiction, it's nice to have that relief of it's you can forget about that for a minute, and that's what's great about music. It's like it can be fun, it can be uplifting. I mean, some people turn to alcohol or drugs to deal with their pain, but music, you can make it fun and light. It just for me it helps deal with the downside of it.
When I started off by congratulating you on the SOCAN award last night, I just wondering, like, you're around 20 years into your career at this point. Is there any, I guess, added satisfaction that comes with something like winning a songwriting award like you did last night at SOCAN? And even just the critical or fan attention that you've been receiving in the last 2, 3, 4-ish years. At this point in your career, do you appreciate it more in any way, or is it any different than it would have been had it happened 10 years ago?
I mean, I appreciate every minute I get to spend in the music industry, because I went away for a while and it was really hard to get back here. And I think when I started being more honest with my songwriting, that's when I actually started having a bit more luck with having a career. Yeah. But I still had the stigma over me that I'm, as a singer or as in a boy band or whatever. So last night, for the first time, when I was being interviewed from one of the SOCAN members, he says, "Hey, how's it feel to be, received as a songwriter and mentioned as a songwriter?" And I was like, to be honest, it's like the first time I've actually heard anybody actually call me a songwriter, which felt great, because it took 20 years to get here, and I've always written my own songs. To be acknowledged for that and to win an award from SOCAN, for me, it was just another achievement. I'm like, wow, it's like I do deserve to be here, and I've worked really hard, and it feels good to be acknowledged that I am a songwriter and I'm doing something right that people seem to like. So I'd love to keep it going.
I'd seen you say in another interview at one point that when you had that success with This Is What It Feels Like with Armin van Buuren, because the song was credited as Armin van Buuren featuring Trevor Guthrie, a lot of people just made the assumption that Armin had written the song. And I guess there's a lot of informing people, no, that's my song, I wrote it, Armin liked it, and that's how it worked out. And for you, because like you were just saying, you want that acknowledgement that you're a songwriter first and foremost. Was that in any way frustrating for you, even though the song had such great success? And were you still able to leverage your success as a songwriter on that track elsewhere?
I mean, Armin gave me a platform to get back into the game, right? And he put the money up. It's his brand, his record label, and he brought me in, shot the video, spent a lot of money promoting it, brought me around the world for 2 years touring it. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah. Do people, as you say, see him more as the guy that wrote the song? Yeah, probably. I mean, I have a couple of situations where people kind of push me out of the way just to talk to him about this, what it feels like. I'm like, all right, then, do what you got to do. But no, I mean, if that was the only song I'd ever written, I'd be like, oh man, I kind of got screwed on that. But he, like I said, he gave me a platform to, keep going and writing my own songs. Yeah. And every time I do an interview, I get to talk about my friend Robert, who passed away of cancer, and I get to tell where the stories come from. And there's 5 people that are credited on This Is What It Feels Like. It's not, I didn't do it all myself. I got the basic message down and the melodies that I wanted, and you take it to the next guy, and he puts his 2 cents in, and Armin gets in on it, and his guys get in on it, and then everybody. It's a team effort. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I have no regrets working with Armin or any other DJ. It's an experience, and it's great to have your foot in that world and a foot in the pop world at the same time, or just a singer-songwriter acoustic kind of stuff, style.